All right, everybody, Cinephile Mike here, and we are in Season 4 of Award Season Reviews. We're counting down to the 98th Academy Awards with 98 reviews in 98 days. Quick reminder, before we dive in, please make sure you click that subscribe button. Just because this season's almost over doesn't mean that the fun stops here. We're in our 14th and final theme week of the season. It is the rest of the best. This week, I'm looking at those last handful of Oscar nomination films I haven't gotten to before we get to the Oscars on March 15th. And today I am discussing Toho Company Limited's Kokuho. Based on the novel of the same name written by Shuichi Yoshida, the film was directed by Lee Sang-il and written by Satoko Okudera. The film premiered at Cannes last year before becoming a box office smash internationally, and after its brief Oscar qualifying run, released in theaters last month. Set across decades in post-war Japan, Kokuho begins with a life-altering tragedy that pulls young Kikuo Tachibana, played in the younger years by Soya Kurakawa, out of the violent world he was born into and places him on an entirely different path. After being taken in by the legendary Kabuki actor Hanai Hanjiro II, played by Ken Watanabe, Kikuo is brought into a world defined by discipline and ritual and tradition, where he is given a new identity and a chance to train in one of Japan's most revered art forms. And what begins as a rescue from one life quickly becomes an immersion into another, as Kikuo is forced to prove that he belongs in a space where lineage matters just as much as talent. At the heart of the film is Kikuo's evolving relationship with Hanjiro's biological son, Shunsuke, played by Kitatsu Koshiyama in the younger years, and who grows up. They grow up alongside each other in the same kabuki house. Raised almost like brothers, the two develop a bond that is affectionate and yet quietly competitive, and it's shaped by the expectations that's placed on them as they mature into the gifted performers they are destined to become. Now, as they move from apprentices to rising stars, Kokuho becomes increasingly focused on this push and pull between them. Friendship, rivalry, loyalty, resentment, and the unspoken understanding that they may each represent something that the other one cannot be. Now, as the years pass and the majority of the film focuses on their grown adult years, the film follows Kikuo, now played by Ryo Yoshizawa, and Shunsuke, in adulthood played by Ryusei Yokohama, through the triumphs and heartbreaks of life on and off the stage as careers rise, relationships shift, and the rigid structures of the kabuki world begin to test everything that they have built together. The film spans nearly 50 years exploring not only, what artists pay, but the sacrifices that are demanded in order to, maintain the expectations and be devoted to the performance. Without spoiling where this goes, Kokuho becomes a real big, sweeping generational drama about identity, ambition, and brotherhood. One where the emotional stakes behind the curtain are every bit as powerful as what's happening under the lights. I have to say, if I had seen this film in 2025, it would have definitely probably been in my top 5 of the year. It's one of the most visually stunning films I have seen this entire season, and perhaps one of the most breathtaking cinematic portrayals of stage performance I've probably seen since Black Swan. Director Lee Sang-il and cinematographer Sofian Elfani, they capture the world of kabuki with this visceral, almost hypnotic energy. It makes every single performance feel alive and emotionally charged. I mean, this film is as much a love letter to the art of kabuki itself as it is to the story. And while the film is not just about the performances, it gives them so much room to breathe, and these long extended sequences are not just dazzling to look at, but so symbolic in how the sequences they do mirror the characters' internal lives. At one point, mini spoiler, Kikuo looks up during a performance and just says, "How beautiful." And honestly, there really are no better words to describe what this film achieves visually. And there's not a weak performance anywhere in this cast. Ken Watanabe is excellent as Hanai Hanjiro II. He brings a real warmth but gravitas to the famed Kabuki master. But the majority of this film really rides on the shoulders of Ryo Yoshizawa and Ryusei Yokohama. And they're phenomenal. The fact that both actors reportedly trained for 18 months is felt in every frame, every movement, because they are not just playing emotionally wounded men wrestling with ambition, jealousy, and devotion. They are fully embodying the physicality and grandeur of Kabuki performance itself. There's a real layered complexity where they have to act as men in pain while simultaneously performing these larger-than-life theatrical roles. And the balance they strike is nothing short of remarkable. Under Lee Sang-il's direction, these performances never become too broad, even when the material easily could have tipped them into that direction. Across the board, the craft is extraordinary. The hair and makeup work from Kyoko Toyokawa, Naomi Hibino, and Tadashi Nishimatsu is exceptional. Not only in the elaborate Kabuki presentation, but in the tattoo work and the subtle aging that tracks these characters across the 5 decades. The costumes by Kumiko Ogawa are lush and detailed and absolutely worthy of adults' conversation, and I honestly, I know I'm getting ahead of myself, I think it's a shame that this film was not prominently discussed a little bit more this season. And when you add in Marihiko Hara's subtle but impactful score, paired with Satoko Okudera, the screenplay, the result is a film that somehow sustains a long runtime by constantly giving you something emotionally or artistically compelling to hold on to. Even if some viewers may find it a bit lengthy, this is the kind of sweeping, richly mounted epic where the performances, the craftsmanship, and the emotional accumulation keep you fully invested. Okay, let's talk about box office and awards. Thus far, Kokuho has made $1,022,688 domestically, with an additional $133,303,723 internationally, giving it a worldwide total of $134,326,411. Worth noting, almost $130 million was from Japan alone, making Kokuho Japan's highest-grossing live-action film of all time. Critically, the film is strong with a tomato meter of 93% from 44 reviews and a 96% popcorn meter from over 100 audience reviews. Award season-wise, this film, tragically, is only nominated for 1 Oscar, Best Achievement in Makeup and Hair for the team that I referenced before. This film was Japan's entry for Best International Film, not making the final cut. Additionally, the film was nominated by the Casting Society of America for Outstanding Achievement in Casting for an International Feature, and Lee Sang-il, the director, was a nominee for the Director's Award at Cannes. Now, the big one worth noting, the awards of the Japanese Academy, Japan's Oscars, awarded the film 12 of its 17 nominations, winning Best Film, Director, Screenplay, Actor for Ryo Yoshizawa, Music, Cinematography, Lighting Direction, Art Direction, Sound Recording, Editing, and nominations for Ai Mikami for Newcomer of the Year, 3 Supporting Actress nods for Mitsuki Takahata, Shinobu Terajima, and Nanamori, and 3 Supporting Actor nods for Ken Watanabe, Min Tanaka, and Ryusei Yokohama. Where do I land on this one? This film... I think you know where I'm going this one. This one floored me. This just under 3-hour epic. It's powerful and stylish. It's a 5-star film. Such a masterpiece and one that needs more attention. So I'm glad that the Oscars probably got a few more people to go out and see this. If you haven't seen it yet, check your local listings. There are still some screenings leading up to the Oscars. No streaming information yet, but this is one I am going to talk about again. All right. That's a strong one to move along with. Thank you for joining me. That was episode 96 of Award Season Review Season 4. That means we only have 2 days left Please be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends, drop your thoughts in the comments. You can follow me everywhere on social platforms, on Letterboxd, and of course, head over to cinephilemike.com for even more reviews and movie goodies. See everyone tomorrow with the penultimate episode of the season. I can't believe it. But until then, this is Cinephile Mike saying take a break and watch something new.